Hattiesburg, thanks for joining us for this COVID-19 briefing for Wednesday, January 13th. Before we get into today's numbers, I want to give a brief word about vaccinations. I know that's been the focal point over the last several days. Yesterday, Governor Reeves announced that he was opening up vaccines for people over the age of 65 and for people with underlying chronic health conditions. That's in addition to that population over 75 that was done last week, and then healthcare workers that were done a few weeks prior to that. However, when you open up the vaccination pool, there's going to be more demand. That's just a natural consequence of that. And so some challenging news to share with you tonight in terms of supply, but something we'll get past. The HealthWorks immunization clinic that was set up last week by Hattiesburg Clinic and Forrest General, they are not booking new appointments right now. They're booked till the 26th. Once they get confirmation of new supply coming to them, they will open up more slots. But right now, the last appointments they have for the 26th, and those are all booked. As we get information, we will share it with you. Also, the drive-through immunization clinic at Lake Terrace Convention Center, while they have opened up new slots for the coming weeks, all of those slots have been booked through early February. However, I would encourage you to check that website, covidvaccine.umc.edu, in case there are cancellations or more slots opened up. And I want to give one last word about vaccine appointments and supply. The availability of a vaccine, while it signals new hope and excitement in the fight against COVID-19, can also bring frustration. People are understandably anxious about getting in line and understandably upset when that effort is delayed. But know this, we, along with our hospitals and clinics and other elected officials, are advocating for more supply. To the Mississippi State Department of Health, to the governor's office, and to anyone who will listen. We're asking for more supply. And we're advocating the use of our existing healthcare infrastructure for accelerated distribution. In addition to the welcome selection of Lake Terrace Convention Center as a vaccination site, we believe that our existing network of outpatient clinics, whether from Hattiesburg Clinic, Merritt, Semrai, the Lamar County Health Department, and any and all public facilities that are capable of being staffed, should be utilized for access going forward as more supply becomes available. However, I have a request of you, especially those who are waiting to receive immunizations. We have waited 10 months for this moment. And the fact that we even have this vaccine available in such record time is itself an incredible feat. But we know that it will take time for everyone to have an opportunity to receive this vaccine. This is the most challenging public health project of our lifetime. So please be patient. It's okay to be frustrated with the effects of this pandemic. It's okay to be anxious about wanting to get inoculated and protected. However, it's not productive to berate and criticize exhausted employees of a hospital and a clinic that have absolutely no control over vaccine supply. They want this solved. They want to get more shots in arms. I know the state health officer, the governor, and everyone at the Department of Health want to get more shots in arms. But this is going to be a marathon. We need to try and not get too overwhelmed this early in the process, particularly with such a promising development. We have waited 10 months to have access to a vaccine. Let's try and hold on a little longer and do those things that we know work until our turn comes available. Things like wearing your mask, practicing social distancing, and avoiding gatherings. So be patient, be kind, have courage. This will get better. Because in the meantime, we have to look at the effects of where numbers are and how we're going to navigate this process over the next several months. And so we want to go on to numbers and share that with you. Today in the hospital, we have 113 people between Merritt Health Wesley and Forrest General who are COVID positive. That's 8 over where we've been for the last 2 weeks. Of those 113, 30 are in the ICU. We did over the last couple of days get sort of excited because we started to see the hospitalization number come down to the low 100s. Of course, that spiked again this morning up to 113. We are pleased to see that we're kind of staying in the middle, the mid-30s in terms of ICU admissions. Statewide, though, 1,942 new cases were announced today and 31 new deaths. And unfortunately, there have been 3 new deaths since our last briefing, 2 in Forrest County, 1 in Lamar County. We send our condolences to those families, which brings the total as of now to 113 in Forrest County and 62 in Lamar County. New positive cases today, Forrest County had 31, Lamar County had 33, and since this began, Forrest County has seen 5,786 new cases, and Lamar County has seen 4,671 new cases. Our 5-day average, we've had 3 days in a row where we haven't seen that 50, 60, 70 new cases in each county, so our 5-day average has come down. Unfortunately, our inside 14-day number is still high. This is the number of people who have received their positive test result in the last 2 weeks. In Forrest County, that number now stands at 611, and in Lamar County, that number now stands at 624. While we did come under 1,300 today, we're still seeing increases over last week. And again, I know we're seeing the effects still of Christmas gatherings and New Year's. But Forrest County, 598 a week ago, 611 potential active cases now. Lamar County, 578 a week ago, 624 today. Hospitalizations still hanging out in the 100s, up to 113 today, 30 in the ICU. Our goals remain the same: protect the vulnerable, people over the age of 60, people with underlying or chronic health conditions. We also want to prevent overrun of our healthcare system by slowing the spread. Speaking of hospital capacity, we were hopeful in the last few days there was more capacity, more available beds. Another tight day this morning, however, as we got on our conference call. Forrest General has 7 acute beds available as of this morning, 4 ICU beds. Merritt had 6 acute beds and then 2 ICU beds. Of course, throughout the day, people are discharged, and then in the afternoons, people come back in either through the emergency room or from surgeries. But still a tough time for our hospitals. Because Lake Terrace Convention Center is now a full-time vaccination site, there will not be testing at Lake Terrace. So we want you to know where you can get tested. Aside from all of the clinics that are out there, Merritt Health Wesley's outpatient clinics and Cough and Fever Clinic at Hattiesburg Clinic, you can also go to C.E. Roy Community Center Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 8 to 12, or the Lamar County Health Department Tuesdays and Thursdays in Purvis, and you can book your appointment for testing at the Lamar County Health Department through covidschedule.umc.edu. Remember, as we continue this week, remember to wash your hands, take care of yourself mentally and physically. Wear a mask if you go out in public. Do only what is essential, and remember, you're safer at home. Have a good rest of the evening.